All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to Reborn Mind, Body, Soul. If you're watching this, you believe in new beginnings and becoming your own ultimate superhero. Now, today I'm standing with none other than Gavin Dantez. He started up a massive e-commerce business. He's been featured in Forbes magazines, and he's the guy you want to be talking to for the new economy and what is happening within the recession. So, what's your thoughts on what's happening right now, Gavin?
Well, it's such a big question. We can go for hours and hours, days and days. But one thing to definitely understand is that coronavirus or not, this was coming. You know, the exponential increase in information technology, the automation, the change was happening so fast. Over the next 6 years, things will change more than they did in the past 100 in terms of technological advancement. Why? Because the latest technology builds the latest technology. The smartphone in your pocket was over $60 million and half a building in size like 50 years ago, and not even close to as powerful as that smartphone. In the next 6 years, we'll have enough technology, like it will, to be as powerful as this smartphone, it will be like the size of your fingernail, right? That's how fast things are going. So we have to realize that not only is this like a crisis in terms of a pandemic, but we also have this economic crisis, and this is going to take new skills being learned. This is going to take understanding the future and where it's going. Understanding, just think about it this way. We're not in local and linear times anymore. That's how we evolved as humanity. In tribes of 100 to 150 people for so many generations, we evolved this way. And that meant our brains were really good at like seeing the prey and saying, oh, the prey is going to go that way. I'm going to cut it off because I can see where it's going. And now, since the doubling speed's doubling, imagine if you were to just look 30 meters that way, take 30 steps, you'd know exactly where that is. Yeah. Imagine if you took 30 exponential steps that way, where you'd go 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. By the time you hit 30, you've gone over 1 billion. And our brains can't calculate that speed of growth. So it's really hard to see the future, but we have to start to understand that's how it works. Understanding that this video that you're taking right now, if this was just in front of the person right now, well, that's as far as it can go. It ends there. But this video can now go in front of millions of people. Some of the videos in our e-commerce business went in front of millions of people because we would put $1 in and get $2 out using Facebook ads, $1 in, $3 out. And we would scale the video, and that was hitting people all over the world at the same time. So imagine a retail store. You can go in, you have to sit in a line. With online, 100 people can purchase at the same time. These are mindsets that we have to shift to and understand, and just start to evolve our software. Our hardware is hardwired. This is our brain. This is how it's wired from an evolutionary standpoint. But our software is something that we can input. We can upgrade our software, just like we upgrade the software on our iPhone to keep up with the times. We can upgrade the software in our brain to keep up with the times. And this is like the number one place to start. Starting to understand multiple things. Evolutionary psychology. How does your brain actually work? So you can start to align with it. Then start to understand lessons of history, like Will Durant's work. What has happened? What are the cycles that happen? This is super, super powerful. Then understanding just like natural law, cause and effect, so you can see things for what they are instead of what you want them to be. Then starting to understand also ancient philosophy, so you can understand the art of living, but then matching and pairing all that with futuristic technology. Where are things now and where are they going? So how can I align all these things together, connect the dots?
Cool. And I've heard you actually talk about like these online tests that you can take to understand yourself. Now, them being at home or being in your house, like what's like a good little take home that they could do to just help themselves understand self, or just while they're at home?
Yeah, so many people right now are messaging me on my Instagram and they're asking, okay, I've been watching your videos for a while and I didn't really do anything, but now I'm like laid off from my job, or I have all this free time. I'm really reflecting. I'm trying to gain new perspective. I'm taking out my whiteboard. I'm asking myself, what can I do? So one of the best things to do is to ask yourself, like, what are your strengths, gifts, and talents? What's your personality type? Where are you gonna thrive best in this world? Because when you know that about yourself, you know what to develop, and then you also know who to outsource to. And then you can have this vision, and then you can do your best things while also bringing other people into that vision. You can be more powerful. So one of the tests is Strength Finders 2.0. That's such an amazing test. It will give you your top 5 strengths out of 36. It was a game changer for me. Personality test, 16personalities.com. Hexaco. Take the Ikigai test. Find your Ikigai, your purpose for living, the Japanese purpose for living. And start to take these tests. don't take them like this is 100% certain.
Yeah.
Take it as like a guide, like your compass. Because imagine having a miswired compass, and let's say your goal is right here. It's like right next to me. You go through the education system, and then the education system trains you for a time that no longer exists. It's like they're handing you this compass, and the compass is like perfectly wired how they want it to be wired, but you want the goal over here, but your compass somehow says go that way. And instead of just walking right here to that goal, you go all the way around the world through all this bullshit and trial and error and all this, instead of just like, okay, my goal's here. Like, this is the whole 4-hour work week mindset. I read that book 8 years ago, and I was like, I'm gonna make this life happen, because I'm not gonna wait till retirement to start living how I want to live. I'm also not gonna get stuck in these recessions. I'm gonna recession proof myself. I'm gonna learn how to sell anywhere in the world, so if one country has a recession, I can sell other places. I'm not gonna just be bound by this one brick and mortar store, and if no one can enter it, I can't sell. No, I have an internet business, I can sell anyways, right? I started asking these questions, but to ask these questions in the first place, we have to start to understand what we want. So one of the exercises is that everyone should do during this time off is create your perfect day.
I love
Write
that one.
out 6 pages. I wrote out 6 pages 8 years ago. What I wanted my ideal life to look like from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. Who would I spend my time with? What would I do for purpose? What would I do for passion? What would I want to contribute in the world? Who would I want to spend my time with? But what kind of conversations would I like to have? What would my health look like? What would I be eating? How would I be feeling? What would I look at in the morning? How would I feel when I go to bed? I wrote up this movie in my mind, because mind, like Google for goals, the longer the keyword, the more specific the result.
Nice. And just to add on to that last part was like, you write it with no restrictions, right? Is that
no limitations, no consequences. So what you're trying to do with this exercise is you're trying to understand your values. So also remove all social conditioning. So for me, I had to remove, like, do I really want the Lamborghini? Is that my highest value? Do I need to drive the Lambo every day? For some people, if that is the supercars and thing, fuck yeah. Like I have nothing wrong. Do what you want. For me, I would much rather be playing football on the beach. Like that makes me more excited. But I still love my motorcycle, like I have the Ninja, the Kawasaki. Right now I'm actually driving the scooter, but sometimes I love that. Like that to me, driving down, like I wanted that feeling. I like the feeling. It makes me feel free. So you have to ask yourself, what is that for you, but not what other people want for you.
Oh, that's
not
a big
what
question.
People have said, this is how you should live your life. Actually, if there are no limitations or consequences, where would you live? Who would you spend your time with? How would you wake up? How would you feel? All of that. And remove all the social conditioning.
Awesome, man. Honestly, appreciate it. It's been one of my perfect days is to have you on here. So this is great.
Dude, that's what I used to think too, man. And I had Joel Brown and Mike, all these guys, so good.
It's awesome, man. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks for all the help out there. Where can they check you out?
Gavin Dantez with a Z at the end on all social media. Or just Google my name and you can find everything.
Okay. And maybe biggest beauties in Bali. I don't know. All right. Take care. Thanks.